Hello and good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? We're all doing good. Today, we are showing you the fourth round in the BSKIT Combined Sprint Series. Today, we will be driving around Brands Hatch. And you might be thinking, well, if we are driving around Brands Hatch, then why is everybody standing still in the pits? Well, because we already have the driver's briefing going on. Has been going on for the past 4 minutes. It should soon be done. The cars are, I think, getting ready to head out again in a moment. Some drivers, of course, just tweaking with the setup while Deck does his little talk. And speaking of Deck, there he is. I don't think his livery is set correctly today. I'm not sure what's happening there. I think he might be missing the car file, so he's unable to select the livery, which we'll look into. Just had no time today. He only just about set his PC up for today, just to be able to participate. Has done limited practice, to say the least. Yeah, that is how it is. See, I think there's a couple of people that are not joining today, and I think one of them is in the chat. That would be Fafi. I believe he had a sprained ankle, so he's not able to participate in this race today, and we wish him all the best in a speedy recovery. And we hope he does not hurt his ankle in the future again. Otherwise, we'll send Pavel after you. Now, I found a new feature, and if we're looking at these cars standing still, we might as well have a look at that. In Race Control, the app that I use, you can apparently just select the car and you can just press the replay button, and this works wonderfully. You can see what happened, and as you can see, earlier in this session, this is a replay of earlier in the session, there was some rain, as I believe Niels Janssen there taps around a 959 car. Maybe not quite happy with how the car controls in the rain yet. We do have another little incident with him. This is turn 3, goes a little bit wide on the grass, and the session was wet early, so the grass will be extremely slippery with all the water in it. Later on in the session, it did dry up a little bit. You can already see it getting a bit brighter. Some guys still like going side by side through this corner, but it's so difficult to go through there side by side, as they found out. And as a result, small collision, nothing major. It is practice, so it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, just testing out the waters, seeing what the track conditions will allow. As you can see, there's still a tiny bit of spray off the car. You can just about see it, but nothing major anymore. And I think these drivers will be out on slicks and seeing what the track's conditions will be like. And I believe in most practice sessions, the track was wet. And tradition in BSKIT is that practice is wet, and then the race is like completely dry, like painfully dry. But so if there's a chance of rain, there's always like no rain. It has to be forced rain. So today we might just see sunny conditions with no cloud in the sky. But let's hope for something different. Let's hope for something exciting, changeable. Keep these drivers on their toes. And hopefully they can keep themselves out of the wall, out of each other. And yeah, we'll have a good race. That is what we all hope for. Sammy Cow running the last corner. Sammy had a particularly good showing last time around, as I quickly make up for lack of preparation and look at the results from last time. It's so long since we did the last race, but yeah, there we go. Today is the day again. Yannick won the last race in class. Is currently second in the championship. Still a little gap to Voita. We're looking at an 18 points gap, and I think to overcome that, you have to finish like 4 places ahead of Voita, Sami. Either that, or you finish ahead of him 4 times, which is possible. But there's 5 races left, so gonna need a little bit of luck. Voita did have a very solid start to the season. Showed up every race, got 2 podiums out of it, and a 6th place last time around. So he does make mistakes. It is possible to beat him, and Sami is in the best position to do so. He keeps control of that car. Not sure how much of that was intentionally trying to stop, and how much of that was correcting a slide and giving up after. Here we got Pavel Lopleto. Oh, is 3rd in the championship, trailing Bogdan and Niels Janssen. Bit of a slide there as well, and the gap is a little bit bigger for him. 35 points to make up. In principle, finishing first there is not enough yet. Current leader in the class, Niels Janssen, been very solid. 4th in the first race, and then won both of the races immediately after. Doing a good job. He has said that last race was particularly good for him, and yeah, we'll have to see if it translates to today. And when I said that Niels was involved in an incident earlier in the session, that was Lars actually. Niels' number 5 car. There we go. I've already jinxed someone. There you go. That was quick. I'm particularly proud of that one. I didn't expect it to happen already, but here we go. I mentioned Niels, and immediately he spins the car, not in the wall, but it's roughly that one. But he continues. So should we all. Life does continue, and we should continue to the next session in a little moment. As you can see in the top, there is at the top right, there's a couple of little windows. Next to the max wait time, though, on the right, there is a couple of icons. You have a clock, a 10, and a 30, and under that are weather icons. That means that currently, in the sky, you've got cloudy conditions. And in 10 minutes, it will still be cloudy, and in 30 minutes, it would be raining. I think that is considered medium rain. So it would the track would get wet quite quickly. Now we are going to change session. That's going to be virtually on a different day, and the conditions can completely change. And here we go. Sami can ask for rain, and ask and you shall receive. Click on drive so I have a good view of it, and you can see the rain. It's going to be interesting because it's going to start out medium rain, and then later on in the session, as Fraser has stopped in the pits. Maybe he didn't go out on wet tires. You have Dan Kingswell first out, but in 10 minutes the rain will ease up a little bit. Maybe the track conditions will get better, and that might be the window for everyone to set their times. And that could be interesting. So later on in the session we might have a better track suited for hot lapping. And the real question is, which driver is going to benefit the most from that? I think at this point, you probably, if I was strategizing, you might just want to fuel up for the whole session and just do laps. If the tires don't degrade too badly. In fairness, I do not know how much the track or like the tires start to degrade on this track, especially not the wet and wet conditions. It's a very specific thing. These drivers will maybe have had a look at that, and they will know better what to do. If the tires are completely fine, you might see some drivers having fueled up for the entire session, just go and sit laps. Speaking of laps, we will sit on the bonnet of Dan Kingswell. There we go. He crosses the line for the start of his run. Ooh, and immediately makes a bit of a mistake, but it's tricky conditions. Turn 1 is a very tricky corner as well. Downhill, committed to the right, into a hairpin. Turn 2. Bit of a slide there. Still trying to get used to the conditions. Maybe the tyres aren't quite up to pressure. Maybe they are not pressured correctly. Also something you have to take into account. Into turn 3. Try to take as much curb as you can, but not too much. It's slippery out there. Turn 4 is a difficult one. It's a very late apex. The turn that just keeps going. It never appears to end. But here we go. We move through under the GT World Challenge banner. The bridge there as well. And this is an interesting corner. 1 out of 3 committed right-handers. You need some commitment to go quick through there. And also keep it safe for his banker lap. Maybe not quite happy with the conditions yet. Second corner is a little bit tighter. And this corner, this is where a lot of the difference will be made. You can absolutely carry a lot of speed through there. It's even a little bit safe, but he does a solid line. Brake hard for this left-hander. It's a little bit banked, so you can carry quite a lot of speed through there. If you get the line correct. And then the last corner. Brake in, try to carry as much speed through there as you can. Go wide, but not too wide. And towards the line, which will be right before the turn 1 right-hander downhill again. This time Dan gets a much better run through there, so he will improve his time. He is 2.4 seconds off the current pole sitter, who goes by the name of Pavel Dominiak. Now Pavel, I believe, I'm going to double check this on my website. No, I think I'm looking at this correctly. He won the practice race and hasn't shown up since, except for Monza, where he finished 7th. I don't think he was quite happy about how the race went. Doubt if that data is correct. How it appears to be. We do have Norbert Tamas, I think. Is he here today? He is here today. He is currently a 4th. Currently pole sitter, and I'd want to have a look at that. Joris Peters Weem. In the beautifully liveried FAF Motorsport, and the other FAF Motorsports car is also here today. Oscar has joined again, who of course won the race in Killarney. Joris today on pole, so he will be very happy with that. Hibana Banana also P3. I think we might have a case here. Sami Kalna goes to pole. I think we might have a case where the track is actually improving, and we do see on the top right that it is light rain conditions now, and it's going to get better. But the track, I think, is rapidly evolving to be quicker and quicker. You can also see Pavel has made a big improvement. Now only 18 thousandths of a second off of Sami Kal's pole time. He's doing exceptionally well in the rain, that has to be said. Oscar Sarista, though, the other FAF Motorsports car, goes to the top. And Joris beats him again. So we've got a FAF 1-2. 2 Porsches. Well, of course, they would be Porsches. They are just very happy in the rain. And that theory maybe proves correct with Yannick Breida putting it on P5. 8 tenths off. But that is very happy. He will be very happy about that. That's very good. It's the combined 2 sentences that I was meant to say. One after another. And I'll tell you more, Joris is actually on a massive improvement already. Only 40 seconds in that lap, but the 2 tenths of an improvement, that might not sound like a lot, but that's a huge amount in racing terms. He is currently behind Niels Janssen, though, who I don't think will have as much pace. So he might be held up here in a moment, we'll have to see, but I think both drivers ahead of him are on a lap. He might flash, but they do have a right to be there. And unfortunately for Joris, he might have to abandon the lap, and he is getting slowed down here. Yeah, Niels just as well has the right to set his lap. So if he gets annoyed about that, it's not entirely right. You have Pavel Dominiak, who has now overtaken Joris. Puts it in P1, 31.8. Still, I think we will start seeing those times drop as the track slowly but surely does start to dry out with so many cars circulating. Diego. Now, in a Mercedes, it's always been in a Mercedes, but he sets the third time. I think yeah, that's a very good result for him so far. It's a lot of the session to go, and the best times will not be set yet. I think every driver will improve, but let's have a quick look at the class battles. We have Sami Cal up there, really showing himself quite quick in these conditions, and Yannick Breida equally in a Porsche, really showing what he's worth in. Yeah, despite the fact that he's in LAM class, having a very, very good quali session so far. He's followed by Bogdan, who's in 13th overall, and Pavel Opatal is in P18 overall. Silver is a little closer. Sami Cal is in the lead, and Silver is, I think, also by far the largest class today. We got, I believe it's Daniel Nyakas. Indeed, it is. Behind, and Hibana Banana in P9 follows with a little bit of distance. Pavel Dominiak still in the lead. He and Joris are both improving currently. Joris is going to finish his lap first. Has a little bit of space ahead of him now, more than last time around. I was going to say it's a smaller improvement than Pavel, but Pavel has actually lost all his time. He's just regained it. I think the game might be a bit buggy. But there you go. Joris Petersveen moves up again. 131.6 this time. And let's see if Pavel can make up for that lost time. Diego is on a minor improvement, and Oscar Saristo has only just started his lap. Same with Diego, actually, so not improving yet. But Pavel, I think, is not... Well, I look at my screen, I see him on the grass. I don't think he's quite happy about how his car's behaving right now. Might reset the pits, and there we have it. He's gonna want to put a new set of tires on, recalibrate the pressures, and go for a flyer at the end of the session, because that's where all the time will be. Joris then, maybe not dominantly, but he is on top right now. And I think that's for now where you want to be, but it's not really meaningful. Because the track is going to improve. The weather is getting better. The cars circulating displace the water from the racing line. Means the racing line will get drier and will yield more grip for the drivers. Now behind Joris on track is Diego, and Diego I don't think is on an improvement. He's on an improvement, he is, but it's not as big as Joris. Joris is actually about to go 2/10 quicker. Bit of a scruffy exit on the last corner, but still a good improvement. A 131.4, and Diego also has improved to P2 with a 131.777. Daniel Nyakas has taken the lead in silver class. Very good time from him, 132.1. Can be happy about that. Yannick actually close behind, 132.2 on the dot. So he is currently in P6 overall with the number 66 car, which is more than 6 places ahead of the next AM car. He's really showing how well he is accustomed with this Porsche, how much control he has over it. And yeah, dominant performance from him so far. We have seen this from him before. He really shows himself to be quite quick on his good days. A little bit inconsistent at times. But we'll see how he copes with the rain. And it might be one of those things where, because it is raining, he is actually on a massive improvement. So we're going to keep watching him. Because it is raining, the drivers might be more cautious because it's raining. It's going to be slippery. They don't want to slide out and lose all of their progress, as he is being held up by the 711 car, who is not on a lap currently. So don't think Yannick will be happy with that. He should have really let him by. Yannick is on a valid lap, but yeah, that is not what we want to see. Maybe it happened just a little bit earlier. And as I say that, Oscar Saristo, teammate of Joris, has taken the #1 spot. It is a Pfaff Motorsports 1-2 again. We've got some beautifully played cars, Porsches in fact, on the front row. It'll be brilliant to see when we get there. It's a 1:31.3 already, so the times are improving. They are dropping, you could say. Yannick is on another lap. He has a lot of time to find. He knows it. The track has also, of course, improved since last lap. Really not quite improving yet, but who is improving? Let's keep a good eye on that. Actually, goes across the line. P1 for Pavel Dominiak. And that looked like a very good lap. Very good improvement. 1:31.192. Brilliant lap. Pavel showing that he's one of the quickest drivers here today. Despite the Porsches maybe having a bit of an advantage in the rain. Pavel moves up, but maybe not for long because Joris here also improving quite a lot. And we will see these times drop very fast, but I didn't expect it to be this fast. But this is going to be close. Is it going to be enough? Joris is going to be P2 or P1? P1, but the gap is only 15 thousandths of a second. He did have a very excellent exit out of the last corner compared to his previous best time, so he gained a lot there. And that made all of the difference. 1:31.177 for Joris. And the Pfaff Motorsport car only being split by a single BMW in it, Pavel Dominiak. Daniel Nyakas currently leading silver class dominantly. I say dominantly, Sami Kahl is actually quite close and the silver class is so big. They're basically everywhere. But Daniel showing himself to be better than the rest in this for now. In this qualifying session. And he is improving. 4 tenths up right now on his time. You can see he's really pushing there. Trying to take as much curb there as he can get away with. It's still not much, but it's all about optimizing. Still 4 tenths up, so must have made a mistake somewhere to gain so much and have to hold on to it. He does also improve through that corner. Let's have a good look at where he ends up. Currently sat in P6. Daniel Nyakas in the Lamborghini. Goes towards the line, across the line. P5 for him, with a big improvement in time, but in position doesn't amount to very much. The pretty decent gaps in this particular place on the grid. And as you can see, the time tower left, there are groups forming between Yannick and Philip. There's not much, and there's a driver between. Casper Ariel is also close. Hibana and Dan Kingswell also trailing closely. Now we have a slightly bigger gap. Declan Bowler. He's currently sat in the pits with a white car. There's supposed to be text on that car. Let's please ignore that. He is currently leading that little pack. But it's not done for him yet. He does have time to go out there and set another lap time, as the track is still improving. But after the session, hypothetically, it would start raining a little bit more again. So we'll see if he goes out in time. Norbert Thomas goes out on the grass. That can't be very fast. But it keeps the car in control. That is very important to do. He's currently improving quite a lot. He is slightly away from the pro driver pack. Got a fan of Bobna, Matic Bobna, who is, let's give a quick update. He's currently 16th of the people. He's not quite last in silver, but he's doing his best, and in the end in the race it will be all about consistency anyway, especially in the rain, so anything can happen. Norbert Tamas does go up to 5th, closes in with the pro pack, where he belongs. The only pro driver out of the pro pack is Filip Drzajic. I think he's not very happy with the rain in the Porsche, but it's still time. Diego Paul currently improving. And keep an eye on this one. This could challenge for pole. He does have a very good lap under his belt so far, but keep in mind that the track is ever improving. So this might be a bit skewed. And we will see Pavel, we will see Joris, we will see Oscar all improving on the laps later on in the next 3 or so minutes. And yes, 3, because if you start your lap before the session is finished, you get to finish that lap. But there we go, Diego moves up to P3, beating out Oscar for now. And the gap to P1 is so small. There is still time to find though, and he is finding it through turn 1. But can he keep it through the rest of the lap? We're going to see when he crosses the line. But Pavel Dominiak, we have to keep an eye on him. He is challenging for pole. Maybe not quite this lap. He does have some traffic in the number 9 car, who is Joris Peterswijn. He's, well, I say traffic. He's currently too far away to notice it. When he does go a little bit wide there, whether that's the dirty air coming from the car ahead or just a lack of focus, maybe not quite used to the conditions as they are right now, we can only speculate. We can also see Oscar is currently on his lap and improving. Diego is close behind on track, also improving. And Diego again remains one to watch. He is challenging for pole. He has the pace. He has shown that by closing into the top within a 1/10 of a second. And he is currently improving. Not quite a 1/10 though. And Oscar is also not improving by too much. He will need another lap to really challenge for it. But that will be his last lap. He doesn't have enough time to start a new one after this one. But here we have Diego crossing the line into P1. He goes, puts the Mercedes on pole position, and the gap between him and Pavel, not much, but that's his last lap because he goes on the gravel, and there's not enough time to start another one. So that's time over for him. But keep an eye on Pavel Dominiak. Pavel is on a stormer. He's gained a lot of time there. Might be the game of being a bit over enthusiastic as it immediately drops all the time again. Maybe a bit weird through turn 4, but still on a pretty decent lap, matching his previous lap time. He is driving ahead of... Oh, but no, he invalidated the lap somewhere. So unfortunately, he will not be able to finish this one. He will not be happy about that, but he might have time. Oh, no, he does not have time anymore to start a new lap. Ibana Banana currently leading Silver Class, still on a lap. Small improvement. Will be his last lap as well. And the top, well, Pavel and Diego are no longer driving. Joris is not currently on an improvement, but he will be able to cross the line and start a new lap in a moment. So keep an eye on him. And the Pfaff Motorsport car of Oscar Soristo will not be able to do that. Unless he sets like a world record lap time, which I do not believe at this point. Ibana Banana, though, trying to strengthen the lead. And Joris is going to hunt for that pole position. Let's keep a close eye on that. So close, we're sitting on the bonnet through the hairpin of turn 2. Turn 3 then, trying to maximize the speed through there. So early on the power as you can, but it is treacherous out there, so you don't want to go too wide. Wide through there, but it might be intentional. Maybe that's just where the grip is. Drivers will be looking out for that with the conditions being as they are. Goes through the first right-hander there. Maybe there's a lot of time to find through this triplet of right-handers. First one he doesn't gain much, but he's still matching his lap time. Maybe on the second one then. He's currently almost exactly replicating his previous lap. The delta is just not moving. And that is almost just as impressive as improving. But as I say that, he is starting to improve in these last corners. Left-hander go wide, but not too wide. He keeps it on the curb, not over it. And that is going to be so crucial. Very important not to bottle it. Into the last corner he goes. Very good exit from him, very wide. Let's have a look then. On the bonnet, across the line. Then will he take pole position? Yes, he does. By 2/10, and the only driver to dip into the 130s. Joris Peterswijn in the Porsche. He won. dethroning Diego Paul Fimbres Casas right at the death of the session, followed by Pavel Dominiak and Yannick Breida. Let's keep an eye on that boy. He is currently sat in P4 as an M driver. He has shown himself to be quite patient. Apparently in the rain he's just got that little bit of extra. And yeah, P4 for him. Very impressive. Ibana Banana leads the silver class, followed by Samikal and Daniel Nyakas. That is a finishing order of those three. They were all at it quite hard till the end of the session. And Matic Bobna has moved himself up beyond Deck Bowler, who has not done a lot of practice. So we will forgive him. Bogdan Gusu is second in class and Niels is third. I really quickly try to reset my program to ensure everything is correct. Get the HUD up correctly. Let's have a good look at this driver list. Shorter one this time, only 23 drivers. I say only. We're still beating Formula 1 with these numbers. This is a low turnout race and we're still doing absolutely fine. So I'm quite happy to see that. Again, a big thanks to Deck for organizing this season, as he has done the previous, showing to be a big success again. The grid rundown then. We got Joris Peterswijn takes pole position for the PAF Motorsports car. The Porsche 911 looking beautiful there. Followed closely by Diego Paul Fimbres Casas and Pavel Dominiak in P3. Yannick Breida outpacing his class in P4. The Porsche showing a little bit of dominance today. I think Pavel will be happy to see that. But oh. Hang on, I haven't noticed yet. But it is completely dry at the start of the race, which means that all drivers will have to adapt in the formation lap to the new conditions. And we might see a big shake-up of the grid. Some rain specialists may drop down. Some dry specialists will move up. Or some people that struggle in the rain, I think, is the more accurate terminology there. Anyway, we continue on P5. We've got Oscar Saristo having won the only race he joined. Well, he finished. He did join Monza, but did not finish. And he's, of course, hoping for a good result again today to give PAF Motorsports the results that they, well, want. Norbert Tamas then in P6, being the last of the top 5 of Pro. And we've got a silver pack of Hibana Banana, Sami Kaal, Daniel Nyakas, Wojta Pavlicek, and Kasper Arielt is in P11, followed by Filip Guzaic, slightly lacking in pace compared to the rest of the pro drivers, but it will be a long race, 90 minutes, so plenty can happen. We've got Matthias Schmidt in P13, silver class driver, now determined. Dan Kingswell is in P14, Matic Bobna in P15. We've got Declan Bowler, P16. Bogdan Gusi is in 17th, followed by Niels Janssen, Pavel Opletal. We've got Fraser Dickey in P20 and Lars Janssen we've got in P21. We've got Philip Piacciotta, silver class driver, and in last place is Sebastian Eban, who I suspect didn't get a clean time in. And there we go. That is the entire grid. It should be an exciting race. Still a little bit of time before the session starts, so take your time to get ready. Get a drink, get a bag of crisps or chips, wherever you're from. Yeah, settle in, sit down, and enjoy. Still 8 minutes to go before the formation lap starts. The drivers will be doing a slow, controlled lap across the track. They will line up in single file at the start, We'll try to warm up the brakes, warm up the tires. Get everything in the right window. Very important. And then when they cross the line again, then we start racing. It will be a rolling start, as always. We see the cars dropping down, which means that they are exiting the setup menu. They try to do it as late as possible, just to have, because there are tire warmers in this setting. But Jäger will be the last of them. 10 seconds to go, he finally drops the car. Some other drivers also trying to get those tire pressures as high as possible. There are tire warmers. They only go off once you exit the setup menu. And there we go. Yours starts to move. So, if you are watching this, please do put in chat what you expect, what you hope for, which drivers you are watching, trying to look out for, and I'll have a look at that. You can see chat. I keep an eye on all of you and make sure none of you are being naughty, because we can't have that. Of course, I do want to have a look at Yannick Breida, see what he can do in that Porsche. In the rain, he was a master of it. In the dry, he has shown himself to be quite quick as well. But let's see if his pace holds up to the drivers around him. Might have a difficult start of the race. Let's hope that he still finishes quite high up. The pack he has to worry about is quite far behind. So a fan of Fraser Dickey in chat. The weaving McLaren there, I believe. There he is. He's currently sat in P19, nicely in the AM class pack. See if he can move up through there. Maybe not quite accustomed to the rain, but with a green track and a dry sky, a cloudy sky, we will maybe see him move up quite rapidly. Only time will tell. As the drivers do start moving through each other, I think he just slowed down a little bit too much though. Or it might be that they have got the order to go double file. I think if we look at the front, we can indeed see that the drivers are lining up double file. Always gets a little bit chaotic, but you do see the line on the right. We have the track map, and we do have Dan Kingswell, who apparently didn't select drive. He's starting from the pits, if he is starting at all. Let's hope he does, but that is a lot of positions lost right off the bat. Not what you want to see. Yours controls, well, I say yours controls the pace. The game controls the pace. Yours just has to deal with it. If you are out of position, you will start with a drive-through penalty and have to serve it in 2 laps after that. Let's have a look then. Green light it is, and yours has a very good start. Who doesn't have a very good start is Diego, who immediately has to defend from Pavel on the inside. There's a tiny bit of contact, but Pavel and Diego let each other live. Pavel's still on the inside for the next corner then. Diego, he doesn't let this go. He really likes to fight for this one. And then in turn 3, he has the inside, and he is able to overtake. But Pavel is right there, looks on the inside again. Let's have a look. Can he send it? Well, Diego goes a little bit wide, leaves Pavel the space. Pavel tries to go in there. Oh, but there is contact. And Diego is sent into the wall. Now that is something for the stewards to look at. And a big beneficiary there. Yeah, you have him. Yannick Breida actually keeping up from the start. Still in P4 right now. Oscar Saristo is right behind, followed close by Hibana Banana, Daniel Nyakas behind, Norbert Tamas following. Then we have Casper, who has also won a lot of places from the start. So have a quick look what else is happening? Ooh, Oscar has, there you go, round the outside of Yannick, who is now, well, mildly defending, not too hard, against Hibana Banana, who is now on the inside. It takes all the bollards with him, so we'll not be seeing those anymore. But yeah, there we go. Yannick losing a couple of places, as we did kind of predict. Still an AM driver among silver class and pro class drivers. You are bound to lose a couple of positions, but regardless, seems to be alright for now. As long as you keep it clean, as long as you don't spin out. Very noticeable. Bogdan Rusu here and Fraser Dickey, who is following him. They have moved up quite a lot. They are currently set in P13. Fraser Dickey has moved into P3 of the class. I think he started like P5 of the class, so that's excellent from him. Philip Desage has overtaken Matthäus Schmidt there. Oh, a very good job from him. Of Sebastian Ehrban. He started from the back, but he's already P17, overtaking Pavel Opletal, and Diego has also been overtaken. In fact, Diego, I think he still is driving. I'm not sure if he has damage, but maybe it's alright to go through it. Sami Cal has already stopped, but has also obtained a stop-go 30. Which is very unfortunate. We do see, a yellow flag for Wojtek Pavlicek. Unfortunately, hit the wall there, I think, and has to let everybody by. Otherwise, risk rejoining unsafely. I think he could have used a little bit of track there because it was so far off the racing line. But he decides against it, chooses the safe option, which is fair enough. Yannick still in first place of his class, and a decent position, I think, actually, for him to continue this race in. But Matthäus Schmidt very close to Philip Gazais. This fight might not be over yet. Matteo showing that he does have pace. We have seen it from him before. Let's see if it can result into, well, results, points in the championship. Well, the most important thing in these drivers' lives right now. Pavel Dominiak also closing in on Joris. A little bit wide there, but it appears to be fine. A little bit of grass does not appear to hurt the car too much, but I don't think he wants to send it here. So hit the brakes a little bit early, just to keep a little bit more distance. Very smart driving from him. You will likely get closer over time. But he does have to keep a look in his mirrors a little bit. Oscar Soristo behind, also showing a little bit of pace. 125.9, 126.1 from Oscar. So he's losing about a tenth. Because of the hundredths digit being unfavorable for Pavel. Oh, but then Pavel does go a little bit wide there. That is not the line you want to see, but he keeps the car so under control. It's almost like it doesn't care. So, yeah, fair play to him. Lap time is invalidated, but as long as it's not track cutting, it's all fair. We do see Philip Desage trying to overtake Norbert Tamas there. Maybe a bit of a David against Goliath thing there, but Philip does show that he has pace. He's able to take the fight to Norbert. Norbert actually losing out a lot of time on Yannick. Yannick very comfortable there in P6. He is looking around the outside, but there's nothing there for now. Big sweep to the right. There's just not many overtaking there. Ooh, I just noticed Pavel Dominiak. We did see him go wide quite a lot, and as a result, he's picked up a drive-through penalty so early in the race. That would be devastating for him. But he does have a lot of time to catch up after that, so we might just see a very exciting race from him. A big show. Ooh, Philip looking on the inside there, but just not quite there. He does have a better exit, it seems like. Looking on the inside, not letting his opponent Norbert take that inside. Norbert goes wide on entry into turn 1. Philip on the inside. He is very cautious. You can see it in his driver. Mateo also trying to deal with Deck behind. And there you go. Philip goes through. Deck, I think, might also benefit from this. Just follows him through effortlessly. And there you go. That is Deck. I think in P3 in the class with so little practice, that is definitely very impressive. And ooh, I think Sebastian Erdmann and Diego Paul Fimbrescasas, I don't know why I said the full name, I think they may have collided. Let's see what happened there. Let's see if I can find it. The online car. Oh, I think the game is struggling. I cannot see the... Oh. I may have messed things up. I am very sorry if I did. The game was trying to search for something. I have stopped caring. Nope, yep, there we go. We can now show the replay of what happened between Sebastian. Ooh, it actually starts with him hitting one of the Janssens. He comes back on track. Oh, and he has another slide, tapping Diego out. And he doesn't control the car. It's very unfortunate. There you go. Sorry for the little technical issues there, but it was necessary to start showing the replays, which I would like to do this time around a little bit more. As you do see Piaggiotta has spun out a little bit. Has to stand next to the track. I'm not sure what happened there. There's a very weird place to be. Normally, maybe he just didn't control the car very well. Went on the grass. Very unfortunate for him. We do see Pavel Dominiak after serving his drive-thru. He has the fastest lap of the race right now. But he is down in P11. Not where he wants to be. Daniel Nyakas then currently in 4th position, but he's challenging Ivana Banana, who's in the lead of the silver class. They are very close to each other. Bogdan Rusu moves up. He's trying to get to Yannick, I think, and he moves up by overtaking... Is it overtaking? Yeah, overtaking Norbert Tamas, who has been struggling for the entirety of this race. We'll have a look in a moment if he has been involved in any incidents at the start. That would explain why his car might be slow. Pavel Dominiak already up to P10 overall, but will want to go back to the top. Speaking of top, the top two is Joris Peters Veem and Oscar Saristo, the two PAF Motorsport car. Oscar sets the fastest lap, steals it from Pavel, showing that he does deserve to be up there, and also closing it on Joris consequently. Doing a very good job then. Have a quick look. I believe I want to look at, was it number 10? The car of not Diego. Well, 10 is Diego. It's not what I wanted to see. It's Norbert Thomas I want to have a look at. Don't see him involved in any incident at the start. Oh, but there is contact with him now or recently. It says with the 47 car. We may have already seen this. We Matic Bobna actually, we have not seen this. Have a look at what happened. Matic on the inside there. Oh, but I think there was a bit of a misjudgment for Norbert there. Sliding into Matic, but no harm, no foul. They can simply continue racing. Race Dickey has unfortunately picked up a drive-through penalty. What happened to Fraser? Maybe something happened to him earlier. We'll have a look at that. Fraser had a couple of incidents apparently. I think most of them went under my radar. So let's have a look at Fraser's race. So first, this is at the start of the race. He was battling with Bogdan. I believe, oh, there's a little bit of contact there. Hitting Deck there in the rear, but it's not much. And I would be expecting a slightly bigger hit, seeing where he is right now. This is later on in the race. He was fighting one of the Janssens. Ooh, but he goes so deep! Ooh, and I think he hit Matic there. May have conceded some damage from that. May have made a bit of a mistake there. It's unfortunate to see him so far down. I think it's a combination of small mistakes and a little bit of damage. Make it that he is down, and he does go into the pits now to serve his drive-through penalty. So fortunate as that is, the race is still long, and it's not lost yet. Pavel the Maniac carving through the field. Approaching Matteo Schmidt. He's currently, Pavel's currently 25 seconds behind the leader. We do want to keep an eye on that gap. I don't think it will shrink that much. Joris, I think, is very happy with his car around this track. The rain, he showed himself to be masterful, but at the start and so far into this race, he has been the man to beat. Oscar Saristo, the only man to keep up so far. On the outside, Pavel goes. Oscar, it's Matteo. Doesn't fight it too much. Pavel in P8 overall right now. I see on my list a contact notification between teammates apparently. Have a look. There's something happened behind them as well. Ooh. Oh no! They came together! The Janssen brothers have come together, and it's a little bit of an accident there. A bit of an unforced error. Well, a bit of a... Oh, as we see Lars go wide again, he must be struggling with that car. Maybe he conceived a lot of damage from the collision we saw earlier. That was earlier on in the race, and I believe his brother Niels just couldn't avoid him anymore. Also, must have conceived a lot of damage, but he's still in P18 overall. It's not great, but not too much of a disaster. It's very unfortunate. We did see a spin right before that. Let's have a look at what happened between those two. See someone go very slow. Not sure who that is, but oh, there's contact there with Pavel Opletal. Unfortunately, collected by the 409 car, Sebastian Eban. Bit of contact between those two, but they do continue driving, and that is what we like to see. Current battles then. We do not have too many, unfortunately. Oh, as I say that, Diego is catching up to Pavel Opletal, who is catching up to Norbert Hamas. It's a little bit of a thing developing there. We have Dan Kings also closing in on Bogdan Russo. Is he closing in? No, Bogdan is running away. Just a little bit last lap. Oh, but Dan does get a little bit close there. Not sure if he misjudged the braking zone there, or if Bogdan was a little bit cautious. Regardless, they did not touch, no harm, no foul. Diego does make his way past Pavel Opletal further down the field. We have Matteo Schmidt closing in on Declan Bowler. Sebastian Eban has been given a 15-second time penalty. I'm sure it's for contact. I'm not sure which contact. I would personally love to know. If I quickly go to basic, I can probably... No. Cannot see it. So I do not believe that our steward, who would be Dan today, I don't think he keeps tabs on any channels. I don't think he does, so fortunately we are running a little bit blind on which accident that was. Regardless, he has the 50-second time penalty. That is quite devastating. And he's going to have to deal with that during his pit stop. Pavel the Maniac. Let's have a look at him. Right behind Philip Duzaj. Looking on the inside, Philip doesn't fight it. He understands. Pavel is fast. He is very quick. And he is through. P6. Moving his way up, but he's not actually getting close to the lead. 26.8 seconds behind now. Oscar Saristo has caught up to Joris. Let's see if these two understand team orders. Or if they just don't care. I mean, I wouldn't care. Last time I let somebody by in a race, it cost me 2 positions. So, but of course, these are teammates. They are currently 11 seconds ahead of the next driver, who is Hibana Banana, so it's not even for class. Daniel Nerkas is also closely following Hibana, but the gap is a little over a second. Nothing to worry about quite yet. They are going very smoothly through this race, showing their pace and nothing to worry about for them. Pavel Dominiak then closing in on Yannick Breida, who has been doing a phenomenal job today. I think Fafi will be happy to see that. Been cheering on Yannick at the start. And Yannick actually not quite letting Pavel by. Just driving his lines, and of course he's not obliged to let Pavel by. Pavel is generally considered a quicker driver, but as long as there's no blue flags, you are still allowed to defend if you want to. It's of course still a choice, and Pavel here on the inside makes the move on track. And there we go, Pavel up to P5. No damage done for Yannick yet. He still has a decently big gap of about 6 seconds to the next driver in class, who is Bogdan Rusu. And credit to Bogdan, he's going to P10 overall. I'll be very happy about that. And I feel like fights are forming. Schmidt very close behind deck still. But more interestingly, we have Matic Bobnar, who also has fans in the chat. Matic quite close behind Dan Kingswell, and behind him is Wojtek Pavlicek. So they are also fighting a full position. Could be a race between these three that could last, well, the entire race. We have Casper Arild. He had quite a good start, but something must have happened. Quickly gonna look at race control to see if he had any contact. No, he has just made a very early stop. I don't think he can finish the race on a very early stop, but he has done so. It could be very unfortunate, maybe an unfortunate unforced error that wasn't registered by the app, but very far down the grid, very unfortunate and unhappy to see that. Regardless, he's still driving, he's still racing, and I think he's fighting. Is it Eerdman behind? It's someone behind. It's not Fraser Dickey. He's a little bit further behind. No, actually, sorry. I'm very sorry. Casper is the blue car behind. Car ahead is Philip Piaggiotta. They are the same class, both silver. So this is full position, and they will be fighting such. Niels Janssen, though, the M car ahead. I think he might still be nursing a little bit of damage. Yeah, closing in. Daniel Nekas looking on the inside, I believe that is of... Nope, Hibana Banana defending from Daniel Nekas. No, no. I'm very confused. I think they're lapping someone. I think they're lapping someone. But Hibana Banana and Nekas are fighting. The black car is Nekas, and Hibana Banana in the grey colored car ahead. The 959 Mercedes. And this Lamborghini chasing. Oscar and Joris in the lead have so far decided to not fight each other too much, I believe. Still in P2, I think he will believe that he has the pace. Might try to undercut, overcut, opposite, essentially, of Joris. To have the fight done on track. But ooh, he has made an unforced error, I believe. Just conceded 2 seconds on Joris. But regardless, still doing a very solid job. The side very close behind Yannick now. Yannick will slowly but surely start getting swallowed up by these faster drivers. I'm not sure if he cares about that much. They are out of his class. It is not 4 points in the end. Just driving his race, doing it very well, very solidly. Track is still looking to be dry for the rest of the race. In fact, it's light cloud in the future. Just had a wet qualifying. Go figure. It's BSKIT. What BSKIT does. You tempt people with rain and then just don't It was good to advertise, but it might be a bit misleading, you know. Schmidt is closing in on deck. We'll equally have Bogdan Rusu behind Matteo. He's catching up to Matteo. Well, not. I mean, it's close. They have close lap time, so he's keeping up, I should say. But Dan Kingswell behind is actually catching up. Wojtek Pavlicek is even faster behind Dan Kingswell. And they are actually fighting. Full position. And Sebastian Edman has got a drive-through penalty. I assume that is for track limits. Definitely not what he wants to have right now. Closing in then. May not look for a move quite yet. On the start finish straight. Oh, maybe a good exit. Oh, we do see, I believe that is Bogdan Rusa making a mistake. He drops a couple of positions there. Most crucially, he drops time relative to Yannick Breida and starts getting closer to Pavel Oplata, who is currently 20 seconds behind him, so doesn't need to worry about it too much. Sebastian Edman goes into pits to serve his drive-through. The man is being held back. I'm not sure if it's human errors. Oh, we do see, speaking of human errors, Lars Janssen. Ooh, he has made a mistake. I think he's taken away one of the brake markers. He's currently unable to move because just cars keep on moving past him, and now he has a little bit of space. Say a little bit, quite a lot of space to do what he needs to do. Sebastian Edman still hasn't served his 15-second time penalty. Of course, he only serves that in his real stop. You are not allowed to serve it in a drive-through. Let's see if we can get a replay of what just happened. I don't think we can, no. It's unfortunate. He has to... Ooh. Slams his car into the pit wall, going into the pits. Full commitment there. A little bit of repair time then. But he does serve his stop with this. You can see on the left we have two drivers with a green bar next to their number. That means they have served their one mandatory stop. And that number one is exactly, well, the count of mandatory stops you still have to serve. Most drivers still have that. There is no pit window. All you have to do is change your tires. And you have to refuel. If you don't refuel, you will not make it to the end of the race. It also doesn't cost you any time to refuel if you also change your tires. So, why would you not? In simple terms. Simplicidge still very close behind Yannick Breida. Hasn't been able to make a move yet. Somebody else is very close. Avoid the Pavlicek. And I think the word close is not enough to describe what's going on here between these two. Looking on the inside for the fast right-hander. Ooh, does he make the move? Yes, he does. Forces Dan Kingswell to leave the space. And it's enough for Vojta to move up there. Very nicely done from him. And that is P10 overall. P5 in class. Ooh, as Dan Kingswell goes on excursion. Keeps it out of the wall. Crucially. Does lose a couple of positions. One of whom is Matic Bobnar. And that is for position in the class. Matic is closing in on Bogdan Rusu ahead. Back to this battle then. Philip still close behind. Matic has got a 5-second time penalty. I'm going to have a quick look to see if I can find what that is for. It might be from the last bit of contact. Let's see if we can get a replay from that. Matic Bob, not a car on the inside here. This might not be the contact it was for. Don't think it would be. Might have to be looking at something else. We have now, I think, lost the 409 car. Yeah, we have lost, I think, 2 cars. We were 23 at the start. Currently sat at 21, so 2 drivers are unfortunately lost. Just checking, Jorgis and Oscar are still there. Diego's still there, very nice to see. I think we may have lost Airban though, so that is unfortunate. Matic Bob now. 5-second time penalty. Not the worst thing in the world. Just a little bit annoying. Since we were at an excursion looking at replays, looking at the Matrix race, Dick has closed in on Yannick. Furthermore, Yannick has lost their position to Filip Gazaic. I think he may have lost a little bit of time to the driver behind. I think Dick really wants to get past. He is facing or struggling with the heated breath in his neck from Matteo Schmidt. Don't think Dick has a setup for today. He has to deal with, I think, aggressive default at this point. And I'm pretty sure he's completely guessed the pressures. As long as they do okay and get him to the end of his stint, be happy about that. Going a little bit long in the stint, so I think he can't be too unhappy about it. Yannick forced into a mistake there by Dick. No contact there, so it's all fair racing. Dick occupying the inside of the corner. Matteo Schmidt follows through immediately. I think Dick would have hoped for Yannick to be slotted in between the two of them. But beggars can't be choosers. And so Yannick is only 5 seconds ahead of Bogdan Rusu behind. And is Bogdan faster? I believe Bogdan is indeed faster. So keep an eye on him, the Romanian. Slowly but surely closing in on Yannick Breida, German. We have several Germans. For now, Yannick is the German. Pavel Dominiak, very, very slowly but surely, starting to close in on the top two. I say very, very slowly, because I don't think it will be fast enough to fight them for points. He will currently, as it is, the P3 in class. Only beaten by the FAF Motorsports cars and Hibana and Daniel Nyakas. Those two have just been having a very clean race, and it has kind of been racing. This is the gap currently between the two of them. Going up and down a bit, but overall pretty stable. But Dan Kingswell very close to Matic Bob now, looking at the inside for the next corner. Might have learned from previous altercations here when he was on the outside, and there you go. He forces Matic to leave the space, and as a result, moves up a position. P12 for Dan Kingswell overall, which is going to be P6 in class, after all is said and done. Matic still has the 5-second time penalty to serve. But he likely would have lost this place regardless. Still losing on the track means you lose even more time. Can't be what he intended. Yannick Breida had a very solid starting position, being in the top 5. I think it was P4 in fact. Now he's lost a lot of places, granted. He's lost a bit of time, fair. But he has just spent half an hour of the race, and we are almost at half an hour through the race, in a very comfortable position for class, in P1. Nobody there to challenge him. But that time is starting to come to an end. Bogdan Rusu is closing in slowly but surely. He's lost time last lap, so maybe not so much. But soon enough, I feel like Vojta is going to move past Yannick. Yannick goes on the grass a little bit there. Vojta looking on the inside. Not a move there. Just to bail out of it. But if Vojta could pass, then there's nothing stopping Bogdan from catching up to Yannick and making a move himself. The only thing stopping him might be pace, as you see. Ooh. Fraser Dickey is that for positions? A little bit hard to say. I do not believe it is. It is a... No, it is actually. Or is... No, I think... Yeah, I think what is going on here, right? So we've got number 18 here, and we've got number, 20 here. Diego is still in between. What is happening here is they have found each other. They are close, like in position, but not close on track. Because Fraser Dickey is a full lap behind Norbert Tamas, who is ahead. Diego is actually in between, like halfway down the track. It's really weird. So don't get confused by those. The gap between each is like 40 seconds. So don't worry about it. It's complicated. Speaking of complicated, we do have Deck ahead of this like little train of four. This is Deck, the white car, followed by Matteo Schmidt. Yannick Breida in P9 is following relatively closely, because he does, I think, go wide a little bit. And Pavel Blatal looking to pass. I think he wants to get past Yannick just to get to Deck and Matteo battling ahead. They would be slowing each other down a little bit there, but regardless, Voita still has to push to get there. And getting past Yannick is it's a requirement to even get the challenge. Fortunate, but that's the way it is. Have a little bit sketchy there of the inside curve, but he keeps the car under control. Matteo still behind Deck. Nothing happening there. Oscar still P2. They are just moving single file through the track, it appears. Dog is still leading the race. They are setting some really strong lap times. Oscar Soristo going in with a 1:25.17 last lap around. Very close to his fastest lap of a 1:25 flat. Nearly flat, he's 0.02 second slower. Very good pace that the FAF Motorsports cars are enjoying. Nearly equal on pace as it would be, because they are close on track. Bogdan Gusu is losing a little bit of time with respect to Wojtek Pavlicek ahead. Not really what he wants, but it is still a lot of race to go. Fortunately for me, the race is starting to slow down a little bit, and as you see Deck pop into the pits there, that is going to be interesting. Let's see where he comes out. Possibly in the massive gap behind him. We'll have to see about that. I do see a contact reported between Niels Janssen and Pavel Dominiak. Let's have a look what happened between these two. We've got Niels Janssen here. Pavel is a faster car. He's also ahead of full position. Ooh, I think that's a little bit on Pavel there. Maybe broke a little bit too late. As a result, there is contact. Also, I've lost a 711 car in this race. Not sure who that would be. I think we just lost him. It's not Yannick, it's not Bogdan. I think it's Fraser, unfortunately. We have lost Fraser Dickey. I think he had a bit of a rotten day, race, so yeah. A battle for P1 is a little bit of an illusion, Pingu. These are teammates. They are not battling. This is really boring. But yeah, somebody tell Jorgis to stop, like, Oscar to just, pass. Let's do it. Yannick Breida currently in P8, of course, virtually a little bit, because Deck did stop already. He has emerged in P15. But importantly, if we look at Deck, and if we look on the bonnet, can you see that? There's nobody ahead. And, well, Matteo also will have nobody ahead. In fact, let's have a look at his car. Schmidt also has nobody ahead, so they are just lapping now. And who is winning that race? Well, currently it is Matteo Schmidt, actually. And it's quite a big gap, 8 tenths. Matteo Schmidt and Deck having a bit of a battle. Virtually between the two of them. Not on track, not directly, but in lap time. Vojta, Yannick, and Matteo still close to each other, though. It's quite, maybe not necessarily surprising, but very nice to see Yannick keep up with these drivers. Of course, wants to keep Vojta between himself and Bogdan. Having a car between you for position, especially one in a higher class, is actually quite nice. The driver straight behind Vojta is not Bogdan. Bogdan is a little bit further behind, but here he is. Beautifully liveried Romanian car. It's got a whole heap of stickers on. Not all of them as serious as you are able to tell right there. There he goes. Get good on the back. And oh, there we go. We do actually have a little bit of a battle, as we just missed Oscar passing Joris for the lead. Let's see how this went down. They are now really battling. Oh, but Joris made a mistake, as you can see there. Went on the grass, and Oscar took that as an invitation. There I go, he says. Little bit of elbows out. Very beautiful pass for the lead. Joris did not let it go so easily, but there we go. That is your new race leader, Oscar Saristo. Speaking of which, we also have Vojta Pavlicek, who overtook Yannick Breida. Can we still see? No. It was a little bit too late for that one, but regardless, we have Vojta Pavlicek currently in P8. Leading from Yannick Breida right here. On the back of the field, we can see Lars Janssen, Diego, and Niels Janssen in reverse in that order. And they have all had a pretty bad race. Niels hasn't even stopped yet. So, very unfortunate to see from those. You can see them right behind each other, but they're not fighting for position. Lars is a lap behind. Niels still needs to come in. So, maybe a bit of a disaster on the Frog guys front today. As long as they finish, they still pick up decent points. There's only actually 3 AMP drivers ahead of them. Yannick is leading them. Bogdan Rusu is 10 seconds behind him. Keep an eye on that. Daniel Nerkas still close behind Hibana Banana. He's been there for 40 minutes now. Pavel Dominiak closing in on them. Of course, had a bit of a rotten start. I think he got a... Yeah, he took out Diego at the start. I feel like it's safe to say. But then he had to serve a drive-through penalty. Now that I think about it, that might actually be because of the contact. And he has been fighting his way back ever since. Currently sat in P5 and challenging Daniel Nerkas for that P4 position overall. Of course, in the class, he's basically already confirmed to finish in P3 in the class. So, I mean, pretty good day at the office normally, but not where he wanted to be today, I'm sure. Looking around, there's not too much to see in terms of battles other than what's going on here. So take a quick sip of my drink. See this happening as Pavel is looking on the inside though. There is a news from the driver's front. I have been informed by one of the drivers who normally joins these races, but I don't think he could make it today. Steve, he has told me, if you look at the top of your screen, a little bit to the right, you will see that the weather indicator has changed a little bit. It's currently light cloud. 10 minutes till light cloud, but then we will see the first instance of rain. That is in 13 minutes, so with 18 minutes to go, there will be light rain. Now, I don't want to, like, be a bit of a party pooper or anything, but 18 minutes to go, and light rain, I think we'll see people stick it out on slicks. So, we won't see any interesting strategy battles with that. But, simultaneously, that will be a real test of who can keep the car under control in those difficult conditions. They're all on a fast track now, and it might even go to optimum near the end of the session. Or, like, not near the end of the session, it's gonna be damp. At best. But before the rain hits, we might see the track go up to optimum. They'll enjoy that grip, they will get used to it, but they will already be mentally preparing for the rain. We do see Pavel Dominiak make the overtake, going on the inside there of Daniel Yakas. Not much he can do about it. So Pavel Dominiak in P4. Vojta Pavlicek, we already said he wanted to get past Yannick just to get to the battle, and here he is in the battle. Matteo Schmidt is now going to have to defend from him. And Dick, you were up high. Slowing down a little bit in terms of pace, but also Matteo has lost a bit of time, so depending on how things swing and go, maybe the pit stop itself might actually make the difference. We're gonna have to see where Deck ends up. We do know that Casper has already stopped. Casper Agild currently in P13, and he is ahead of Deck. That is crucial, because that might mean he might jump Matteo and Vojta. But it does depend on, well, I'm actually just gonna check because I can see these things. See, Deck, he stopped in the pits for 32 seconds. He was in the pits for 54 seconds. That is pretty average. That is pretty normal. Well, in P4 currently, but he is challenging for P3, about half a second behind. Blue flags being shown, but that will be for the driver ahead of both of these two. That will be Deck, I think. The white car ahead. He will move out of the way shortly, I assume. I don't think he wants to interfere in this fight. Just happy to be here. Pavel trying to look for a move here with Hibana. Out of this corner, I do think Pavel has a slightly better exit, but I don't think it's enough to make a move. This straight is one of the longer ones on the track, but it's not nearly long enough to make a move. But, I say that, Hibana makes a small mistake. He goes wide. Pavel sees it, goes to the inside, and on the inside for turn 2, and there he goes. Fully ahead of Hibana Banana, P3 in the race. Still, he is, I will say, 26 seconds behind the top 2. So he's not really challenging for a top 2 finish. But he is on the podium right now, and I think that's exactly where I want to be. P3 for Pavel Dominiak. Very impressive. Difficult start with having to serve drive through. But he's fought his way back. The rain threat is still looming. 30 minutes to go until that. And 44 minutes to go in the race. We're a little over halfway then. If we look up and down the field, we can see Oscar Soristo still dominant in the lead. As he goes to lap Diego, who has had a truly rotten race. He will not be happy. You tend to think that being too unhappy in a car does slow you down. But I don't think that's the reason he's down there. I'm starting to notice something. Starting to notice that a lot of drivers haven't boxed yet. Top 12 drivers plus Pavel Opletal plus Niels Janssen all have not made their stop yet. And with the rain, as the track does go to optimum, but with the rain coming, is one of them going to try to do a cheeky switch? Maybe not on slicks. Sorry, maybe not on wets. Because I don't think the wets will cope very well with light rain. With the track, well, dry from the outset. The track temperature is low, so it won't evaporate too quickly. But maybe some higher pressured slicks, just to keep the tire pressures more correct. It's gonna be interesting to see what they decide to do. I'm not sure if anybody has practiced these conditions for today. There was an opportunity to, in practice. So right before the race, people, they got the reverse. They got from dry to wet. Now we're going from wet to dry. Getting lapped is not an achievement, but lapping Diego, I mean, that's something, I guess. Banana, interestingly, still keeping up with Pavel. It's, I think, currently the closest to drivers we have in terms of a fight for position somehow. Not entirely the case. Now, my incidents report sheet actually hasn't got many incidents, so no replays for now. Things seem to be alright. Drivers driving cleanly, just doing their lap times. After this, in this phase of the race. Bit of an endurance game, you can't make mistakes, and Brands is a punishing track. Turn 1 is you have to be motivated, you have to be committed into it. Hivana is, but ooh, maybe a bit too committed. You go on the gravel, you lose a bit of time. Those things can add up, especially in sprint races. And if it gets into your head, then you might start making bigger mistakes. That's gonna be interesting. And with that, also the rain, of course, the threat is still looming. There's 13 minutes, it will be less than 30 minutes. I think we're looking at about 23 minutes till the rain hits. I think we'll see it with would be about 18 minutes to go. 17. Something around that time. That's when the rain will hit. The track will not be wet for another lap. Ooh, as I do see a yellow flag. What happened here with Jorgis? He is with a back marker here, just overtaking him. Something wrong here. Ooh, but ooh, that is a collision. That is a collision with the number 4 car. I believe we're looking at Lars Janssen here. Ooh, that is not what you want to see. Will likely be penalized for that. And Jorgis still in P2. Very little damage done. He still needs to stop. Might as well repair the damage there if he feels it's a problem. He still has a 23-second lead over the next car. But that is Pavel Dominiak, and if you give Pavel too much time, he might start to catch up. You have a problem. Pavel Opletal is also in the pits. Let's see how long he is in there for now. Yeah, it's just stopped. Didn't take too long for him. Now, I think Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, I have bad news. I have really bad news. Bogdan Rusu was fighting Yannick. And I regret to inform you. And he's lost a lot of time. How has he lost a lot of time, you might ask? And I look at my information sheet. Turns out he has made a stop. And he has done his due diligence of refueling. But Bogdan did not change tires. And that might be either a big mistake or a calculated effort to go on wets at the end, assuming they are faster. But it does mean that he has to stop again. And maybe it's strategy. It might still be strategy. But I fear it might not be the right one. But I would love to be proven wrong. Especially because I was rooting for Bogdan to make it a nice fight. So let's have him prove me wrong. And as I say that, Matteo Schmidt is also pulling into the pits. Breida did not manage to overtake before Matteo went in the pits, but he might be able to set the lap times to overtake. Breida will want that position. I believe he is leading in the class. Have a quick look at the silver class. Breida is leading in the class, and Ibana Banana is actually significantly behind. Hasn't had any good finish yet, so a P1 would really really improve that. You see Dan King. Ooh, what happened here? Dan Kingswell is in the wall. Have a quick look at the replay. Oh no, he went on the grass, and when I said not too wide on that corner in qualifying, I believe, just as a little bit of a track guide, this is what I was talking about. It's very easy to misjudge a banked corner or a banked straight even. Not quite have a good idea of where the edge of the track is, and just one wheel on the grass can destabilize your car, and there you go. But I think the damage is limited, but there will be a massive loss of time. And Matteo Schmidt right on his tail after Matteo came out of the pits. That's actually really bad for Matteo. Might be held up here. And that might, in the end, cost him a position. But also, interestingly, Matteo also hasn't switched tires. Are these drivers, are they assuming that other drivers will not be able to stick it out on the slicks for 18 minutes in light rain? As you can see, the current weather is turning to medium cloud on the top of the screen. Are these drivers assuming that these slicks will immediately drop off? That there is genuinely no hope of putting any good laps together in them? And are they banking on maybe people in their class making the mistake of not switching tires? Ooh, and Matteo, ooh, late on the brakes, but he saves it. Very, very, very close call. I think Matteo has a little bit of overspeed, will want to get past Dan Kingswell, but fortunately for him, it doesn't seem to be that easy. Not for now, anyway. Somebody with a very good position, I think, is Kasper Arild, Danish driver. Early in P9, has been setting very good laps, had a bit of a rotten start, but he's moved up in the world. Oh no, wait, sorry, I think he stopped early, but I believe I said that he stopped too early. Turns out it might come back to help him, because everybody who still has I think well, Matteo Smith for sure, he has already stopped but hasn't changed tires. He will need to stop. Everybody behind him that still needs to make a stop will likely finish behind Kasper. Kasper started on rain tires. Oh, I was suspecting it. I didn't want to say it. Because it would have looked really foolish if that wasn't the case. But yeah, Casper started on rain tires, hence why he lost so much, and had to pit on lap 1. Had to change tires, of course. That's why it's all legal now. He can technically finish the race, but the fuel tank will not allow him to do that. The leader of the race, Oscar Soriso, has moved into the pits, meaning that Pavel Dominiak now inherits the lead of the race. His teammate actually surprisingly far back. I think Joris has lost a lot of time. Maybe didn't emerge in the gap that he wanted and lost a little bit of time because of it. I believe Oscar does have the world of space ahead of him. Behind him, the 98 car, who would be Bogdan Rusu. Likely slower class, AM class. Likely will not be a problem for Oscar. We are go back on the Casper story. Apparently, there was some big changes in the setup, and it's difficult for some of these drivers. You want to you start in qualifying in the wets. You orient for the wets. And you assume the race will be wet because a lot of practice has been wet. And then you arrive at the race and it's actually dry, and your setup is wet at that point. It's full wet conditions. So you have to change everything. And in that, apparently they just forgot to change the tires. Which can happen. It can happen. You need to be on top of everything, but simultaneously that's really difficult to do. You will make mistakes, and yeah, they can be very, very costly. As long as the setup is happy, hopefully Casper is happy. Does appear to be happy with his pace right now. Doing quite well. Ooh, Matteo very late on the brakes there. Dan Kingsville just far away enough to avoid an incident. Getting confirmation. Casper is indeed super happy. I'm very happy to hear that. I hope he stays happy. I hope nothing bad happens to him. Doing a great job today. I think he might have a quick look. I think he might have one of the faster laps in silver class. Not so much actually. The fastest laps there are actually quite close, but Matteo Schmidt is currently a little bit clear from the rest of the field in terms of fastest laps. When it comes to that class, gonna be interesting to see. It does say the rain will be increasing in 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes we will be well and truly into the rain portion. And that might also tell us, well, in 10 minutes ago the rain is going to start. We're going to be closer to 20 minutes. I think more than 20 minutes the drivers will have to deal with rainy conditions. And as a result, I think all the drivers that haven't swapped the tires yet and are banking on the wets being best for the end. If that is true, I think they will be the real winners here today. And good news for Casper. I think it will be one of the bigger winners of that. He tested the wets at the start. He will have a little bit of advantage on that. Not really, of course, because the wets will be awful. Would have been awful in the dry. When there's enough rain on the track, they start to become better. These drivers will get the message from the game that the wets are optimum. That is an estimate. That is not a guarantee. Some cars with some setups, or just all of them, in certain conditions, will be faster on slicks. Might even depend on the driver. Schmidt still closely following Dan Kingswell. They have been back and forth a little bit. Matteo looking for moves, but Dan not leaving enough space for it to happen. And keeping up the pace, very crucially. Because Matteo is currently a little bit far back. Does make it difficult to stage a move if Dan does make a mistake though. Matteo is there to benefit from it. Done a very clean race so far. Continues that way, it'll be a very good result for him. I want to have a quick look at Pavel Dominiak. Now, Pavel, currently in the lead of the race, granted, did not stop yet. However, with the way the race appears to be changing in the near future, might be a good thing. He might be able to retain the lead if the slicks are not the way to go at the end. And if he correctly chooses for the wets. It's a little bit of an unknown. Light rain can be challenging. It can be challenging to get everything right. Yeah, we'll have to see near the end of the race. Nyakas does decide to go into the pits now. Might be that he believes it will be optimum for the last 20 or so minutes. You do see now on the top right, it's a bit it's a bit fictitious, non-real, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. But after the race, the rain will be dying down a little bit. It says two things. One, it says that the rain likely won't get too bad. But it also says that in the space of light rain, it will be sufficiently rainy that the game can still decrease the amount of rain and still have it be raining. That's something else it can tell you. Not sure how the drivers will interpret those messages from the heads-up display. It'll be important to see how they do that. As Casper Ariel actually looking around the outside of Philip decides. Philip decides, however, defending that position. I think he wants to keep that. P8, P7 overall for him will be a good result. I think he can be happy with that. He qualified very quickly, which is why he is in pro class. We've never really re-evaluated that one. But he always seems to be a little bit up there. And Pavel and Hibana Banana both go into the pits. Probably to cover off Daniel Yakas, who has got a 5-second time penalty. Let's see if we can find what that is for. We do have a new incident here. Let's see in a replay. Daniel Yakas, I believe this is on Hibana Banana looking on the inside. There is contact there. And yeah, that was not really on. Not enough overlap between those two. So a fairly normal penalty there. I feel like somebody's hammering something into a wall somewhere. Yeah, is that Hibana Banana overtaking Pavel in the pits as we do have a yellow flag. That is Dan Kingswell. What happened to him? Have a quick look. Oh, it was Matteo. I think it may have touched him out. Ooh, and he takes one of the Janssens with him. Ooh, that is going to be something for the stewards to look at. That looks like an unfortunate incident, and it looks like Dan might have been a bit of a passenger there. But we'll see what the stewards decide to say about that. Casper Arild has successfully made his move on Philip on the inside after turn 1. He had a bit of contact, but it's just a bit of door banging. They can survive that. They are not Formula 1 cars. Not as fragile. Got a little bit of a thick skin. You know, say whatever you want against them and they will not complain about it. And as a result, cleanly passed goes Casper Arild. Still P3 in class, but he will be able to challenge Daniel a little bit later on. Ooh, and that's Pavel Oplatal. I think he made a little bit of a mistake, slide there, but he keeps the car under control, crucially. It's nice to back out of all of that nonsense, and as a result, still alive. Track is still optimum, the weather is still medium cloud. Dan Kingswell goes into the pits. He might be there to repair a little bit of damage. I say a little bit, might be a lot. Pavel Dominiak then. He is chasing Hibana Banana again. He overtook Hibana on track and lost the position back in the pits. As a result, he has to fight for it yet again. Yannick Breida. I don't know. I think he's so far up the list that he's flown under the radar for me. He is about to be unlapped by. Well, Diego's going to unlap himself, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, he's in P3 right now overall. Hasn't stopped yet. He might be gambling on the wet tire strategy being best for the end. And we're going to see, because as you can see on the screen, I hope you can see that. I'm not sure how Twitch's compression is, but it has started raining. In fact, I think if we go interior, you can see that the windscreen wipers are moving. I think Dominic's they well, the stewards have reviewed it, and if something wrong there, they will have to take it up with the steward. I am simply a mere spectator, commentator. I am here to slightly insult people for their car choice, probably. Sometimes hard to say really what is right in those incidents, because you could say yeah, side by side, but also it's not quite side by side. It's difficult. In the end, the referee, or the steward in this case, makes the decision, and the drivers will have to accept it, however much they may disagree. Ooh, and Pietrota is not standing very nicely there. A little bit of an incident there, but I think on his own. Let's see what happened. Track is starting to get a little bit damp at this point. It went a little bit outside on the curbs, on the gravel in fact. Ooh, and that is a hit on the wall. It was censored by the Brands Hatch logo, but yeah, there he looks. There he stands, not moving. You might want to say, well, wouldn't you move forwards just to get further away from the racing line? But the most important thing is to be predictable. Standing still is perfectly fine there. And Yannick Breida has moved into the pits, as has, and this is interesting, Joris. Joris has pitted. And that is interesting. That is very, very interesting. Keep an eye on that, because he didn't need to anymore. He could have finished the race exactly on the set he was on, but I think he has judged the conditions to be so bad that wets will be better. That's what I think happened here, but Pavel might want to stick it out on the slicks, because if he stays here, he's P2 in the race, and that is brilliant for him. Keep an eye on what happens, and if this was the right call. The car does look comfortable for now. I do want to double check if it was a tire change, because it feels even a bit early. But he did stop for 34 seconds, so I do believe that is a tire change, and I do think Joris will be on wet tires. Unless he made a mistake somewhere and had a repair damage. But I do not see him on the list of the list of shame. I'm going to start calling it, I think. I did see a couple of incidents in a row, and I want to have a quick look at them. Involving Dan King is what it says. Let's have a look. This is with Matteo. Yeah, I think this is one of the ones that we did see. There was a bit of a contact between Matteo and Dan there, and that is the crash that followed. And Casper Ariel apparently also had a little bit of contact with the 67 car. Let's have a look at that, what happened. I think we might be looking at the Croat in Flip to side. Oh, his teammate. A little bit of door banging. Good move. I think it's actually one that we did see earlier. There's a little bit of contact there, but nothing major. Oh, but what is major though, that is Declan Bowler has gone bowling with his car. Missed all the pins, but car has spun a little bit. think he's moving into the pits. I think he wants to get off those dry tires. Maybe it's too treacherous. I'll have a quick look at exactly what happened here. He was very close to another driver. I believe it might be Norbert Tamas. And they are battling for position here. Let's have a look here. Goes late on the brakes. Ooh, and I think goes off the racing line onto the curbs. And it's going to be slippery there. Yeah, and I think that's when he decided that track is not happy with slicks. And as a result, well, we have Joris who did stop just. We have Pavel who hasn't stopped yet. And I don't know if he will stop. He might try to stick it out to try and salvage what he can. He's currently close to Hibana Banana, who I think also hasn't stopped yet. Or they might already be on wets. They did, well, they stopped, but they stopped early. They stopped early. Pavel has been on the set for 7 minutes, and so has Hibana. And Yakas has been on it for 9 minutes, but most of the wet runners have only been on the tires for 2 minutes. But Oscar Saristo, oh, I think he may have made a crucial mistake with the pit stop, because he has got a drive-through penalty. Now that is bloody tragic. The drive-through penalty he will have to serve very soon, and that does mean that he will drop behind Pavel Dominiak. And that gives Pavel hope that he might win the race. Now, outlier here, Hibana Banana, I think he may have nailed the strategy a little bit, but I do want to quickly look, and this is quite important. I should have had a look at it a little bit earlier. Excuse me. Hibana Banana has set a 132.3 last lap, and Joris has set a 131.7. That is a decent difference, but I'm not sure if that's the difference between wets and dries right now. I'm thinking Hibana might actually have gone on wets a little early there. Cheeky strategy. Worked out. Brilliant. Pavel Dominiak, if he did the same, it's also going to be brilliant. Pavel Dominiak set a 132.4 last lap around. And they're coming around again. 132.3 for Hibana, who takes the lead after Oscar Saristo serves his drive-through penalty. And Pavel does a 133.3. Daniel Neck has a 133.9. And I believe that is Pavel Dominiak taking... Ooh, I think that's Pavel taking the lead of the race. A little bit of contact there. Maybe Ivana being caught off guard with the braking of Pavel ahead. Oh, but he's not happy on these tires, it appears. And also because he's a position, I believe that is... No, that's not even to Daniel. That is someone completely different. I guess he decided it was not for position. And we're starting to feel like Ivana might not be on wets. I'm starting to feel like Pavel might also not be on wets, purely because he was keeping up with Hibana for the entire time. But it's 15 more minutes. Can he survive 15 minutes in the lead on tires? Maybe tires that aren't designed for this kind of weather. We'll have to see. The track will get wetter simply because, well, there will be more water pouring down from the sky. It won't be too bad, even at its worst. We'll see. See if Pavel can make this work. Joris is currently very close to his teammate. Gap is only 0.8, but we'll see if they do battle. To what degree? Oscar did serve his drive-through penalty, of course. So it's gonna be alright. But Yannick Breida, he's actually just driving on his own. Bogdan Rusu is ages away behind him. He is comfortable in P6. Perfect race from him so far today. And yeah, let's see if he can keep it perfect. Not sure what tires he will be on, but he looks quite comfortable in the car. I don't see a lot of shaking. He's keeping it under control. His last lap was a 133.5 as well. I think he's fine. Probably on the right tires. 6 minutes on these tires. I think that means he's on the right tires. Yeah, Yannick, big praise to him. Doing a very good job. 153.6 added to the list of good laps. Now, banana is getting quite close. But crucially, are you seeing that? Just have a very, very careful look there, because it appears Pavel is struggling. Pavel is struggling. This number 17 car around him, that it will be Norbert Tamas. Norbert always has a lot of pace. But I think this might be a tire difference coming to show. And maybe the slicks, while still good in these conditions, are not optimal anymore. I think that's what we might be seeing here. It's difficult to say. And what I do know is that Oscar Saristo is setting the world on fire with lap times 131.9. Which is almost 2 seconds faster than Pavel. It's more than 2 seconds faster than Pavel. Almost 3 seconds faster than Pavel. And I think that might be the tire change proving to be maybe even more optimal. But. There's 8 seconds between them. They're not going to run out of time, I don't think. Because if they do 3 laps, that would be about... what? 4-5 minutes? Ooh, we do see Oscar run a bit wide there. We'll lose him a little bit of time, but he keeps the car stable. Most important thing. Friendly banter in the chat. Always good to see. And if you are watching, please do remember to follow us if you haven't already. And if you have already followed us, welcome. There is a subscribe button. It's there. You can click it if you want. You don't have to. It would help us out a tiny little bit. But if you are enjoying the race, to us, that is good enough. That is the most important thing. Ivana Banana struggling a little bit there, but he is getting close to Pavel. Pavel is really struggling on these tires, but equally Hibana Banana also on the wrong tires right now. These slicks are properly falling off. We see Oscar Saristo has caught up to Daniel Nyakas, and we will see this happen rather quickly, I think. If you are a big fan of Daniel, I would suggest you look away. Just a couple of minutes. Tell you what it's safe. As I look there, there's actually a BMW ahead of them. But it appears to be alright. I believe that's one of the Frog Guy cars. And there you go. You can look again if you are a fan. Oh, you might really want to look now. Oscar is actually on the grass. But he keeps the position, defends it from Daniel. So the wets are faster, it appears. However, I don't think they're comfortable. I see a lot of drivers still sliding around. Maybe they're overheating a little bit. Did they get the pressures wrong? Are the track conditions not quite as they expected? 10 minutes to go and the rain will ease off a little bit. But I'm not sure if that's going to give the slick runners any hope. It might. I don't think it will be enough. I think Oscar will close in on Hibana and Pavel, who are having their own issues. They are losing a lot of time. Although I say that, Pavel has just set a 132.9, which is rather quick. I think it's quicker than what he's done so far in the rain. Might be entering a situation where the rain is reducing. And it might just be that, on balance, the I'll say that Daniel Nekas is losing also to Joris Petersbane. Might also be that on balance the slicks might start to gain a little bit more grip again. It's hard to say with these changeable conditions. These drivers currently are trying to navigate it to the best of their abilities. Ooh, but Daniel Nekas makes a bit of a mistake, or was there contact? Let's have a quick look at what happened. He's behind the car of Joris. Oh, but he goes wide there on grass. Unforced error. Overcorrects once, twice, and into the wall. Unfortunate. With the 5-second time penalty, he might... Well, I don't think he's going to lose position to Yannick, who's 30 seconds behind. But that does put him out of contention for anything better than P5 overall. But I think he would have been happy with P5 overall, regardless. If things have gone, well, normal, regular. No weird things. Oscar Soristo, slowly but surely, starting to catch up to the guys ahead, and on the straight in a moment you will be able to see the leaders of the race. They are closely tailed by Norbert Hamas, who is not fighting there for position, but he's fighting there because it's funny. Oscar is really the man to watch. He is currently 5.1 seconds behind Ivana. Ivana is currently almost side by side with Pavel, looking around the outside through the left-hander. One of two, I think. There's very few left-handers. One of three. Close in a little bit. Looking around the outside, there's not much there. I'm like keeping it so cool. Silver class driver, but very consistent today. No mistakes, and puts himself in a position to even battle with Pavel. Can be very quick, and he's showing that in the rain. Pavel, fortunately for him, ooh, gonna a little bit too much curb. You can see just how slidey it is. Norbert Tamas also not for position, but it's funny. Oh, like just fun, having fun here. Yeah, the battling, it's good to see, but Oscar Soristo has made up a boatload of time. Currently only 1.7 seconds behind Ivana Banana. 3.4 behind the leader of the race in Pavel Dominiak. Will be not much more time for Oscar to make this happen. And I think Pavel has played this very strongly. And it might depend on what Hibana decides to do. Does he decide to battle this? Does he decide to defend? I don't think so. I don't think there will be much defending from Hibana. Because he understands he's on the wrong tire. Norbert Tamas also will be getting blue flags. Will not be able to defend. Regardless, we'll see what was the optimal strategy. Should Oscar have stayed out, or should Pavel have come in? Getting the feeling the rain is getting a little bit less, slowly but surely. Not a lot of spray, and well, the track definitely is damp. Oh well, wet. Not the worst. Kasper Agelt also had a pretty good strategy this race, except for the first lap, where he started on wets on the right track. Right now, however, is set in P8 somehow, and P4 in the class. Good comeback from him. Can be very, very proud of that. Not much left to go. Four minutes, just a couple more laps. That is. Oscar Soristo has properly caught up to Hibana Banana. Hibana Banana will have to decide what to do. Will he defend? Might actually help Pavel if he does. But will he be able to defend is one thing. Well, he will be allowed, technically. Robert Thomas has already been overtaken. Number 7 car behind Oscar right now. But does have to make it happen somewhere. This will be full position for P2 overall. But then there is, of course, well, I mean, Ivana can defend, and he's doing that, and he's driving his lines. I think he also wants to keep up with Pavel. Don't lose too much. He's entirely within his rights. Oscar will need to make this happen in a clean manner. No contact between the two yet, and let's hope we keep it that way. Ooh, but I think there's a little bit of contact there. There's a little bit of slide there from Ibana Banana. Around the outside there looks Oscar, but it's not enough. I think he may have understood that overtaking there would have been very, very mean. Looked around the outside then for this corner. Will he have a better grip? He does have a little better grip at least, but Ibana Banana also has better grip. A very good grip, I should say. But the track being as it is, Ibana able to fight back. Pavel's last lap was a 132.2. The track is speeding up a little bit for him. I want to double check out. I'm not sure if I can see this, but if I go to basic HUD, no, he's actually on wets right now. So that is Pavel actually, interestingly, must have gone to wets very early. Decided to stick it out on in the dry, on the wets, and yeah, making it work. I don't think dry's the way to go at all. Then I do so wish that HSC had a way to show us exactly what tires drivers are on. It will have to do with just navigating to people, showing the basic HUD, and reading it from the bottom right there. You can see it says a wet between the tires next to the. So we do see a spinning number 4. I believe that's Lars Janssen. Has had a very difficult race today, and ended off with a spin. 1 minute to go, and Pavel Deminiak still in the lead. I believe he may be entering the last lap in a moment. That's what he's going to do. Have a quick look at him. Yep, still looking good. But the important thing is, of course, can Oscar get past Ivana Banana? This is not for class, this is not for points, but this is for honor. If there's one thing more important than points, it's honor. Oscar's gonna go for this. Decent line through this hairpin then for both of these drivers. Very neat line through Banner. Ooh, he doesn't cover it off. Covers it off a little bit. Tries to enforce himself into that position. Oscar looked around there, but was just not possible. Had to back out and did that wisely. Will want to make a move somewhere. It will not be this this corner though. Banner is faster. Oscar will have to settle behind for now, but there's still a couple of corners. This is not an opportunity right now. It's just simply too far back. Ibana keeps it clean, no slides. Oscar absolutely pushing there. Oh, but he's gone wide. Will that be compromising? No, actually, he's carrying a lot of speed. Will he be able to around the outside? Late on the brakes, maybe? No, but maybe a switchback. Oh, there's a little bit of contact, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, the camera a bit confused there. On the inside then. Ooh, saw the dummy around the outside. On the inside he goes. Oh, but there's a slide. Ibana Banana goes back. Oh, and there's contact. Ibana has been spun out. And Oscar loses the position in the end to his teammates. Oscar Saristo. There was a bit of contact there. A bit of a mistake maybe. Pavel Deminiak takes the win of the race. And Ibana finished ahead of Oscar. I think Oscar just let him by in the silliest manner possible. But Ibana still wins the silver class. Oscar spins across the finish line. We still have Yannick Breida though. Now, this is the drive of a king. Yannick Breida has been absolutely faultless the entire race. Has navigated himself. I believe he's on what's not right now. Yep, those do appear to be the tires to be on. He's perfectly navigated himself through the race. As a result, it's P5 for Yannick. Well deserved win in the class. Very well done. A couple of people could see the contact coming, and we're not wrong. Have a quick look at that again. I believe this is a little bit earlier in there. They had a little bit of scrubbing earlier. That is not the big hit we were looking for. I think this is the big hit we were looking for. On the inside, Oscar goes. And a little bit of a slide from Oscar, as you can see again. Hibana had to go across the grass. Maybe Oscar didn't leave him enough space. Maybe Hibana rejoined on safely. I think we'll leave that to the stewards to decide. But there you go. What an eventful race with a very interesting ending there. Regardless, Ivana Banana P3 overall, wins Silver class, Yannick wins AM class, and Pavel Dominiak against all odds. Rotten start with a drive-through penalty, but he has won the race. Full 50 points against his name. Oscar Sristo does take the fastest lap and will be going home with 3 more points on the list in Pro Class. Alright. We'll quickly go back here. Race is not starting soon, it's ending. It has ended. And well, first of all, we will be looking if we can get Pavel for an interview. And I will be asking the same to Yannick. Find him. I cannot find him. And I believe Hibana Banana was the last one. Most drivers are not mandated to take part in the interviews, but I think a lot would like to hear from them. How their races went. Do not think we'll be hearing from Ivana, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get an interview with either Pavel or Yannick. Maybe even both if we are lucky. There's no such luck for now. I'll give them 2 more minutes. In those 2 minutes, thank you if you have been watching the race so far. Leave your reactions in the chat. An eventful race with an eventful ending. Spectacular, one might say. Quite the plot twist, but yeah.
Am I still expected?
Oh, I think we hear Pavel.
Yeah, I just wanted to clean the room after you finished commentating, so I'm here a bit early.
Okay. Well, welcome to the chat. I didn't see you come in, but yeah, well done, P1. How do you feel?
Considering the amount of stuff that happened in the race, I'm really happy. Like, I'm sorry for Diego that it was what it was on first lap. Nothing was intentional. I just felt that the car bounced and I just hit him. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I got a drive-through for it, so yeah. Also, I'm happy with my strategy. Yeah, everything went well, actually, except this punt with Diego and some backmarker situations. I had amazing fight with Banana. So yeah, a really good race. Probably one of my highlights. So
A difficult start then, but navigating the difficult conditions perfectly and taking home a win from that. And I believe I saw you pit a little bit before the rain actually hit. You went on wets there?
yes, I had a lot of fuel in the car, so I was like expecting the rain to. I wasn't expecting the rain to come. I got just some info from people in voice chat that the wind is picking up and the rain will definitely come. So I was quite happy that I had a lot of fuel. I got 104 liters at the start. So it took me through the first hour on the dries, and I just had to risk it in with the wets. So I went to the wets. I had a really nightmarish pit stop because I forgot to turn on my ignition, and I was wondering why my car doesn't move. So yeah, GG to me. And Banana got me in the pits, and I was following him on the wets in the dry. So the tires went absolutely sky high with pressures, but finally the rain came and they come in to the right pressures. So yeah, all I did was like try not to crash and overtook Banana after his mistake. Yeah, really happy.
Yeah.
Really.
This
I
seems,
don't. I'm so surprised by this win, and I don't even know what to say.
Well, it was a well-deserved win, well-deserved victory, and I'm not sure. I don't think you've won an official race. You've won the practice race, that I do know, but you haven't won a race so far.
Yes.
Is this a bit of redemption for the last few races?
Maybe not redemption, but I didn't expect it, so it cannot be called in any way. I think it's just it came as a surprise. I was really scared because I didn't have the same pace as Porsches here in the wet and in the dry, so it was more of a survival race for me, let's say. Especially after that drive-through, I was just sending it left, right, and center because I had nothing to lose, and I gained quite a lot of positions in 2 laps after my drive-through. Yeah, maybe not redemption, but happy that I proved myself that I can win it.
Oh. Well, happy to hear that. You've done very well, and yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for commentating and broadcasting. I will definitely rewatch the whole race.
It's always brilliant to see. And yeah, with that, we say goodbye to Pavel and we say hello to the winner of class. Hello, are you here, Yannick? I think we have lost Yannick. I'm not sure what happened here. Back out, back in. Hello, Yannick, can you hear me? I'll do it the other way. Can you hear me, Yannick? I do not think we have any audio from him, so unfortunately the interview is not going to happen like that. See, he can hear me, I just cannot hear him. That is what's going on right now. Audio microphone setting that is just not correct. Give it a minute. A patient man, I am very tired. I will concede that, but I'll live. I'll survive.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, there we go. We can hear you very clearly. Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had a nice race with a nice tactic, strategy, and tried to do a long first stint. And yeah, be prepared for any weather changes. I thought it would be the other way around from wet to dry, but yeah, took it like that anyways. And yeah, because I only had to do one stop, I had a good position in the end.
You're very happy to finish like that, I'm sure. And with that, you take your second win of the season in a seemingly dominant fashion. How did the car feel for you? Because you seemed quite comfortable. I'm not sure if I saw you make any mistakes today.
Yeah, to be honest, I had one mistake after 1/3 of the race, or yeah, something like that, where I hit the barriers after the 1, 2, 3, fourth corner or something, and had a bit of damage, so I couldn't really get up to pace because the car was a bit damaged, but it was just a bit of aero. And yeah, in the end, I thought I don't want to repair it because it was like 5 seconds, and if someone got right in front of me, it would probably be no good thing to have that car repaired, but not the track position anyway. So yeah.
So you decided to choose track position first then, but I think you had quite a big gap to Bogdan by the end. He had a couple of issues, I think, but or may have gone with a less optimal strategy because of the rain. Stopped a little earlier, and you went until the end. Did you just make one stop, and when did you exactly you switched to rain tires, right?
Yeah, right. I switched exactly at the right moment. I had no cold tires at all, and it was 15 minutes remaining or something. I don't know exactly, but something around 15 minutes remaining. And yeah, worked out very good. Very
Yeah,
nice.
sounds perfect. And yeah, nice for a strategy like that to work out, and a bit unfortunate for Bogdan then to be caught out by that. But regardless, I think you can be very happy with this win. You've driven well, very few mistakes, and seeing good things from you. And hopefully in the championship you'll move up a couple of places. I think you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think you will.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Have a nice evening.
It's just looking and calculating. I think you've got Poplatal for sure. I'm not sure about the rest. We'll see. Interesting battle developing there for sure. But thank you very much for joining for the interview, and thank you very much for racing, and for the viewers, thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying these and you haven't followed yet, please do make sure to press the follow button. And yeah, we'll see you guys later in, I believe, in 2 weeks. Normally we have a race every 2 weeks. We do not have a race in 2 weeks this time around. We have a race in 3 weeks. It will be in Spa, 6th of May. I will not be there to commentate. I will be problematically far from my computer to be able to do that. But hopefully we'll get someone to place me, and someone that can cast a race for us. We can still enjoy this wonderful championship. Right, so thank you very much, and have a good night.